Hey y'all, welcome to my back porch. Today I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. This is my little helper, Emmy, and I have about 6 people to feed today. And we have a pork butt, which my husband is doing on his barbecue pit right now. It's going to slow cook throughout the entire afternoon. I am making my dad's famous jalapeno poppers, and I'm going to be making a squash casserole with our fresh squash from the farm and our fresh onions, and I'm going to also be canning Cowboy Candy. So it's going to be a wild day, so come along with us and enjoy. This is my Cowboy Candy recipe that I made last year that I'm going to follow. I'm going to go ahead and start getting everything ready for my brine and putting it all in my pot. Apple cider vinegar, brown sugar, garlic powder, turmeric, cayenne pepper, and celery seed. Alright, so I'm going to start with my 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out if I want to double this or not. Yeah, I think I am. I'm going to do my 4 cups of apple cider vinegar. Six cups of brown sugar, 6 cups of sugar, 4 teaspoons of garlic powder. Let's see if I can do this without having to hold on to the container. Ooh. Maybe not. One teaspoon of turmeric. There's 2 right here because I am using half a teaspoon. So I did put 8 scoops of the garlic powder in here. Like I said, since that's half, that would make 4 teaspoons. Half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And 2 teaspoons of celery seed. Now I am using mustard seed as an alternative because I don't have any. So mustard seed is a good alternative if you do not have any celery seed. I'm going to give this a good stir, get all that sugar off the bottom. It is a very thick brine, but it's supposed to be. This is considered a cowboy candy. Alright, baby, hang on. We're about to take this outside. I am going to cook this outside like I did my hot sauce because it can be potent and we just don't want all that smell in the house right now. We don't want our eyes and faces burning again. Although the peppers I am using are store-bought, so it should not be that bad. So we will see how this goes. Alright, I have it outside on my burner. I'm going to turn this up to high, and I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and we will be right back. The pork butt smells delicious. Alright, y'all. Well, I got sidetracked with my little one, and this boiled over outside. So, even though it is not boiling right now, I'm going to heat it back up, and I'm going to add my peppers. I already chopped all of these up yesterday so I could get ahead, but it looks like I am now a little bit behind. So I'm going to dump these in, and then I'm going to let it simmer for about 4 minutes. Getting them all mixed in. and coated. I guess it's a good thing that I decided to double my brine. Y'all, it has been such an eventful day already, and guess what? I haven't even started to make the jalapeno poppers or the casserole. But, lucky for me, I don't have to start that till about 4:30. So, I have time, but, yeah, we're going to see how this turns out since a lot of it boiled out. I am now coming up to a simmer. I'm kind of paranoid now, so I keep on watching it really closely. My husband is going to get me a little bit more brown sugar to put in here because since it did, let me turn that down a little bit. Since it did boil over, we are getting more of a vinegary taste than a sweet taste. So I'm just going to put a little bit more in here and see how that goes. I'm at a good simmer now. I'm going to let this do this for 4 minutes. All right, my 4 minutes is up. And now I'm going to automatically start. Let me get a jar. I'll just show y'all real quick. I'm going to start I have a slotted spoon. I'm just going to start dropping my peppers in my jars. After I have my jars filled, I'm going to let this brine boil for another 5 minutes. And then I will start filling the jars with the brine. I have all of my jars filled. I have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I can't even think of what these are though, y'all. Quarter pints, and I have 1/2 pint. I've got this simmering for the last 5 minutes, and then I will ladle it into these jars. Whatever I have left over, I will put in my extra jars over here. It makes a great marinade. If you want something that has a little bit of spice and a little bit of sweetness, pork's really good with it, chicken's really good with it, so you can just can it with the rest of your stuff. All right, I'm going to start ladling this in. I just took my funnel inside too. I'm not sure why, but let's see how this works without it. That actually worked pretty well. I'm gonna get the rest of these done and I'll be right back. I have vinegar on my rag and I'm gonna wipe this down really well. This stuff is super sticky and you don't want it on the rim of your jar because it will affect its sealing. It will not seal right. I have all of these in my water bath canner. This was my whole batch. I was able to fit them all in here. I have them just sitting up here on my rack. My water, if you can see it, is starting to get hot, but it's not as hot as these jars. I'm going to wait till they're about the same temperature, and then I'm going to put this in here in a water bath can for 10 minutes. I sealed these fingertip tight and I debubbled them. I also have a good amount of vinegar mixed in my water. For those of you that asked me before, my water is very, very hard. There's a lot of calcium in it. So I have to put vinegar in the water to keep it from getting deposited on my jars. All right, finally getting a start on these stuffed jalapenos. I've never made this recipe before. My dad cooks about like I do, or I should say I cook about like he does, huh? He wasn't able to give me any measurements or anything. He eyeballs stuff. So I'm just gonna have to go by taste, and let's see if I can get it right. Emily's here helping me still, or watching me. So he said to put 2 to 3 roasted bell peppers in the food processor. I think that looks pretty good. I'll do, is there any more smaller pieces in here? Maybe. I feel like that's gonna be too much. Let's see what this gets us, and I can always add more. Now I'm going to add a few of the sun-dried tomatoes. I'm gonna try to scoot this over. I'm trying to get equal parts of the two.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
I made you your birthday.
I've got it in my food processor.
Yeah.
I just added a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of Cavender's. It is all-purpose seasoning, and it has a little bit of everything in it. Now I'm gonna put all 4 of these blocks of cream cheese in here. Now I'm going to mix this mixture in with the cream cheese. You mixing it together good?
Yeah. And it's messy yet.
Good. He's poking holes in the bottom of this tray. That way, as it's cooking on the pit, we're gonna have another tray underneath this with a spacer in between. And this bacon grease is gonna be able to drip down, and that way we will be able to keep most of our filling. I'm getting started on stuffing these peppers. Okay. And then wrap it. Uh-oh. Maybe I shouldn't have cut these. Let me try a whole one. Trial and error. Whole one's gonna be too big. Maybe not. There you go. And I am freezing some of these. So I'm making plenty for us tonight. And I'm making plenty so that I have some later. I'm starting to try to meal prep again. That makes things so much easier on me. And these are also store-bought peppers. I did not use our homegrown ones. They are not big enough to stuff, or else I would have. These are the poppers that I'm going to freeze. I'm going to stick them in the freezer just like this. And as soon as they freeze, I'm going to either put them in containers, or I am going to put them in Ziploc bags. I'm getting started on the squash casserole. This is all homegrown squash. I've got more in a box lid over there that I should mix my wet ingredients, my mayo and stuff like that in another bowl. Put the squash in the pan, then mix all of it together in the pan. Well, I'm just gonna do it all in the pan because I just don't have the time to do that today. So let's get going on this. This is my last project for the day. Alright, I'm going to chop up this red onion just real thin. My squash are cut about that thin. Y'all, I literally have tears pouring down my face. Okay, now that I'm done frying and I've got my onion, I've got my yellow squash, I've got a little bit of zucchini in there. It's not everybody's favorite squash, so I don't use that much. But I'm gonna do, let me get a spoon. I'm gonna do about half a cup of mayo in each one of these. I'm doing 2 eggs in each one. Cheddar cheese, Mexican blend, whatever. I was going to use Parmesan and mozzarella, and then I saw these two in the fridge, and I figured I might want to use these. About a cup. And I'm only making 2 because I'm going to freeze one, along with the stuffed peppers. It's part of my meal prepping. My favorite go-to seasoning, Cavender's. Season it pretty well. You've got a lot of milder flavors in here, like the mayo and the egg. Now you're going to mix all this together. I have this one nice and coated. You can't really tell. It looks like there's nothing on there from the camera angle. But it is. It's all nice and coated very well. And this is a new squash casserole recipe that I am making. So I'm hoping it turns out good.
Hold on just 1 second.
If not, we can always doctor it up a little bit. I'm going to top it with breadcrumbs. If you don't have breadcrumbs and you have Ritz crackers or anything like that, Ritz crackers are amazing for this. Alright, I'm going to get that in the oven at 350 degrees, and I'm just going to check it and cook it until the squash gets tender and those breadcrumbs start browning. Alright, I've got my candied jalapenos done. Here's the brine. That's what that looks like. The pork butt is done, and it smells delicious. The casseroles are cooking. I'm gonna have to do one of these at a time. The one that our grandparents is first because she likes to eat at 6 sharp. The peppers are pretty much done. The other batch is in the freezer. It's been a very, very productive day. We'll see what all of it looks like together as soon as it's all done. The first casserole is out of the oven finally. It was about 20-25 minutes. Alright guys, here's our end products of the day. Candied jalapenos. Pork butt. This is all cut up because my husband went to take some to my grandparents' house. This as well. And our jalapeno poppers. I took the other half to my grandfather also. Y'all have a great night. We're going to enjoy this. And happy Labor Day. And I will see y'all next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.